In the winter of 1944, the frozen silence of the Eastern Front stretched endlessly across the torn fields, broken villages, and dying forests of war-torn Europe. Amid the smoke-choked skies, a young German signals operator named Lena Hartmann trudged forward with her radio pack, her boots sinking into the bitter snow that had swallowed the land. For weeks her unit had been retreating under relentless pressure, and the exhaustion in her eyes showed the weight of every step she had taken. As the gray morning turned into a blinding white haze, distant artillery thunder signaled danger once again. Lena's convoy was hit before they could react. Shells tore through the frozen air, scattering soldiers in every direction. Lena dove behind a shattered tree trunk, clutching her radio pack as the world roared around her. The blast shook the ground so violently that she struggled to breathe. Through the smoke she could see figures approaching, enemy troops advancing through the fog with rifles raised. Her unit was overwhelmed within minutes. Lena tried to run, but the snow slowed her, her breath burning in her throat. A soldier caught her arm and forced her to the ground, her hands quickly bound with coarse rope. She fought to stay calm, even as fear tightened inside her chest like ice. Surrounded by enemy troops, she was dragged across the ruined field toward a half-collapsed farmhouse that stood alone, in the snow like a wounded ghost of better times. Inside the cold, dim structure, Lena was pushed onto a wooden bench. Her wrists throbbed from the binding, and her legs trembled from the cold that seeped through the cracked floorboards. An officer stepped forward, his face stern and unreadable beneath the shadow of his helmet. He asked her questions, urgent, sharp questions about troop positions, retreat paths, radio codes. Lena stayed silent, her breath forming pale clouds in the freezing air. Her heart pounded violently, as every second stretched heavier than the last. The soldiers grew increasingly frustrated, pacing around her like wolves circling a trapped deer. The storm outside intensified, rattling the broken windows until the entire structure groaned under the wind. Lena's fear deepened, not only of the men around her, but of what the merciless night outside might bring if she were left alone in it. Yet she held her ground, refusing to betray the soldiers who had fought and fallen beside her. Hours passed, crawling by like years. Lena's strength weakened as the cold gnawed at her bones and fatigue darkened her vision. Sometimes she closed her eyes just to breathe, just to find a moment of warmth and memories of home. But each time she opened them, the harsh reality of war returned, the enemy soldiers, the ropes burning her wrists, the uncertain fate hanging over her like a shadow no light could cut through. When dawn finally arrived, it brought no comfort. The officer returned, his expression even harder than before. He told her plainly that the war was shifting quickly and that every piece of information mattered. Lena felt the weight of the world press against her heart. She was terrified, exhausted, and nearly collapsing from the strain. Yet some part of her spirit remained unbroken, a quiet, stubborn ember refusing to die. As she was escorted outside, the cold morning wind hit her like a wall. The battlefield stretched out before her, smoking ruins, abandoned trenches, endless white snow stained with the marks of war. Lena realized that whatever happened next, her courage would be her final shield. And even in the darkest hour, she would cling to it. Her story, like countless others lost in the vast storm of World War II, became a silent reminder of the fear, resilience, and unspoken suffering endured by those who were caught between the crushing gears of history.